We were speaking about the 8 steps of yoga practice. A part of the first step, yama, has been explained yesterday. Now we will take up the remaining aspects of yama and the other 7 aspects. About these 8 aspects, Patanjali explains one more point. He explains us the benefit of practicing these 8 aspects separately. There will be an elimination of impurities. Impurities will be there on 3 planes of existence. The first is in the physical body. When there is something wrong with the food and drink, first there will be physical impurities. Apart from the toxic effects of bad application of food and drink, there is the possibility of blockages of the pulsations in the body. We have seen how the pulsations are making us live. The pulsation that takes place in the lungs and the heart exists in all the other parts of the body also. It exists in the form of peristalsis of the muscles and nerves. That is the contraction and expansion of the centers. This activity causes contraction and expansion of the various vital organs. There is a difference between the centers and the vital organs. The centers of activity exist along the spinal cord and they are called the chakras in the early stage of practice. And in an advanced stage, they are called the lotuses or padmas. There are 2 stages in the functioning of the centers. One stage is functioning due to the tension of force. That is, there will be a tension from center to circumference, and there will be a tension from circumference to center. These two tensions cause equilibrium of each center. They make the chakras exist on the higher planes of existence. Remember, the chakras do not exist on the first plane, the physical body. Just as magnetic lines of force do not exist on the physical magnet. You observe a magnet, nothing can be seen about the magnetic lines of force. Similarly, if you go and examine in the anatomy theatre the spinal column of a dead body, you do not find any one of the chakras in it. But if you expose iron dust to a magnet, you will find how the lines of force are working. Only with the help of iron dust, you will be able to understand the existence of the lines of force. Same thing also with the cerebrospinal mechanism. You will never find any centers in the cortical tissue or the tissues of the spinal cord. But just as there are lines of force in the magnet, just as you can detect them by using the iron dust only, you can detect the functions of the existence and the functions of the chakras only by the functions they do. And that too, when you try to locate them through the process of meditation. And Some of these centers are called the 6 chakras. There are many centers given in the ancient scientific books of Sanskrit. There are 360 centers located by the ancient scientists who are called the scientists of the Tantras. And especially, there is one Tantra called Sri Tantra. It gives us a complete key of all the centers and their workings. And also a keyboard which can be used to stimulate these centers. Just as the typewriting machine has its own keyboard, these centers have their own keyboard to work. And just as anyone who has practiced typewriting can use the keyboard, a master in the Tantra science can use the keyboard of these 360 centers. And we are daily using it without knowing the mechanism and having a mastery over the keyboard. If you think for a few minutes about the mechanism of our thoughts being translated into sentences, and the sentences being translated into words, words being translated into syllables, syllables being translated into sounds, and sounds being liberated through the vocal cord, you will understand how we are using the keyboard even without knowing it. To utter any syllable requires a conscious attempt, but we are automatically using it because it is working through instinct. This is what is called the blind way of using the keyboard. But there is a conscious way of using the keyboard, and it is what is called the sacred science Tantra. The keyboard includes sound, light, color, shape, smell, taste. The keyboard has an alphabet of all these aspects. The centers 360 can be touched properly through with the help of the keyboard. A total self-sufficient explanation of the keyboard and the way how to master it and practice it is given in that branch of the science which is called Sri Tantra. And for the present, it is enough for us to know that the centers exist along the spinal cord. Only 6 of the centers are explained as the 6 chakras, and the 7th called the 1,000-petaled lotus. And each chakra makes a vibration like this. That is expansion and contraction. Because it is made up of only lines of force. There is no matter or material substance which makes these chakras. Each chakra is made up of a fabric of lines of force. It exists only in the form of vibrations, and it is not static. Even when it is not having any movement, it is not static. When it comes to stability, even then it is only a voice of many thousands of vibrations. just like the existence of an atom. And this produces a peristaltic movement on the higher planes of existence. For example, the second or the vital plane called prana or pulsation in Sanskrit, and the mental plane. This works upon the physical matter and causes some behavior in the tissues of the physical body. Just as magnetic lines of force cause a behavior in magnets. You know how when two magnets are brought together, they attract each other when you bring the unlike poles, and they repel from each other when you bring like poles together. This is not the behavior of the physical substance of the magnet. The behavior of the magnets exists on the invisible plane of forces. But you will find the behavior of the magnet on the physical plane. Physically, two magnets are attracted or repelled from each other. And physically, every magnet points to north and south only. Just as this physical behavior of the magnet is due to the invisible, non-physical lines of force, the physical behavior of the tissues in our body is due to the lines of force working in the centers. And since each center works as a little chakra, that means a wheel which produces contraction and expansion, the same thing is being produced by many physical centers. That is the reason why the lungs produce expansion and contraction, makes us breathe. This is the reason why the heart contracts and expands. And this is the reason of the pulsation of the heart. And the same thing makes the vascular system contract and expand. That's the reason why the blood is properly circulated through the blood vessels. And as long as our behavior with food and drink, rest and work, sleep and sex are in accordance with the laws of nature, then these functions take a normal course of action, just as in the case of animals and plants. But unfortunately, the human being interferes with the action of his instrument, because he can eat when he is not hungry and he can drink when he is not thirsty. Whereas the animals and the plants cannot do it. They are protected by nature and functions take naturally. That's the reason why in all the major tantras, the first 3 chapters, he describes 3 stages of behavior. One is called human behavior. 2 is called animal behavior. 3, divine or natural behavior. In Sanskrit, the first is called Manushya Bhava. The second is called Pashu Bhava. The third is called Devi Bhava. Bhava means behavior. And normally we exist in the first stage of behavior, not natural. then we are expected to practice Pashubhava. That is, train yourself to eat only when you are hungry, drink only when you are thirsty, and have sex only when it is season. Then you will recede into nature from the unnatural behavior of the human fellow. So, from intellectual behavior, we are expected to go back a few steps to the natural behavior. And then we can have a precise way of doing things. And then you can step into the divine behavior, that is, self-conscious behavior of every plane. The third step is what we call yoga practice. It is better to know this before we know the other steps of yoga. And this activity of the chakras makes the digestive organs also function with peristalsis. See how the gaster begins to vibrate when food is being digested. See how the small intestines begin to act like snakes and they move when the digestion takes place. And see how the large intestine makes peculiar movements in producing the act of elimination. See how the bladder indicates the elimination of urine when it is time. All these functions are being conducted by the energy centers. And when something is wrong with our behavior in terms of food and drink, sleep and sex, there is an automatic blockage of one of the centers, and there is a corresponding blockage in the physical organs. The result is disturbance in digestion and constipation and urine not being properly eliminated, or unnecessary repeated elimination of urine, various secretions from various parts of the body that are not natural. And all these impurities will be cleared off by following the 8 steps of yoga. So, Patanjali explains how the 8 steps eliminate the impurities. Not only on the physical plane, but also on the vital and the mental planes. The impurities on the physical plane will work as constipation, etc. Impurities on the vital plane, they work as strange sensations that are not desirable. That is, the various types of pain and discomfort, various types of tensions, or unnecessary relaxations, and a bit of slackening of the muscles and nerves. And on the mental plane, the impurities work by producing toxic effects. That is, unnecessary sleepy nature, sometimes too much of sleep, sometimes disturbance in sleep, sometimes insomnia, no sleep at all, sometimes hyperactivity of the mind. That is, the mind goes on working day and night without sleeping. And sometimes anger, jealousy, fear, depressions, nervosities, and various psychological and psychic disturbances, which can never be cured by medicine, because we have only one solution to control these things in medical science. And that method is the most unscientific and dangerous and primitive method. That is the use of sedatives, tranquilizers. They contain all sorts of dirty narcotics which bring stupidity to the natural functions of the mind. So in that respect, medical science is still in its stone age at present. It is too primitive, and if we do not know scientific advanced methods like yogic practice, it is better to suffer from these impurities and diseases than to suffer from the bad effects of narcotics and tranquilizers. Please remember, there is no compromise about this, because nature never compromises with our evils. The fact medical science accepts these things never proves that they are correct. It only proves that the present medical science is most unscientific and dirty. We should not be ashamed of rectifying what we have to rectify. So, we have an advanced method of eliminating all these three impurities. Suppose I feel that there are many enemies working against me, that many people are jealous about me. They do not like that I am becoming popular. This is how my thoughts are conditioned on the mental plane by the impurities. Many people feel the existence of enemies. Many people understand that there are people who are jealous of them. This is due to the impurities working on the mental plane. Not in the mental plane of the enemies, but in our own mental plane. If the mental plane of enemies is working, let them take care. We are not there to take care of our enemies. The fact we are feeling the existence of enemies outside immediately proves the existence of some impurity or toxic matter in us. That something like liver or spleen is not working properly, and it is producing its own toxic effect upon the mind, and we are having misanthropic moods. This is the way how the impurities work on the three lower planes. A proper practice of the 8 steps of yoga eliminates these impurities in a systematic and safe manner, leaves the vehicles clean and pure. We have not only these 3 planes of existence, there are 7 planes of consciousness in every one of us. And for your information, I will enumerate the 7 before we proceed to the 8 steps of yoga. The first is called the material plane or the physical plane. The second is called the vital plane, which is the plane of forces that is working through the cerebrospinal system and the nerves. The third is the mental plane, or what we call the mind. Fourth is the plane of pure will, which is called buddhi in Sanskrit. Buddhi in Sanskrit. What's the disturbance? What's the difference between mind and buddhi? Mind is only a reporting person who reports the persons and the things of the environment to the indweller, who takes the orders of the indweller to transmit to the outer world. He has no message of his own to give us. But buddhi is different. It has what is called discrimination. It gives you the power to choose the correct thing and reject the wrong thing. It also gives you what is called common sense, which is the infallible gauge to truth and untruth. If we feel lazy in using our common sense, then we will deceive ourselves many times. Through a process of self-mystification, in the name of many experiences in yoga and many wrong experiences in tantra, and in the name of strange phenomena and psychism and bad experiments in the name of communicating with the dead persons, we will resort to many strange things that are not true and not natural. We cannot distinguish between what is true and what is false. So, buddhi is the plane of discrimination and common sense. It is described as the purificatory fire in the scriptures. Our house, which is our physical, our constitution, is said to have 3 fires in it in the scriptures. One fire is called buddhi, into which you are expected to throw everything you receive. And then let the impurities be burnt in the fire. And then again receive the pure offering given to you by the fire. And another fire is called the fire of the householder. That is what we call the digestive fire. You are expected to keep the sanctity of it by not throwing every dirty stuff into it, and by keeping timings in eating and drinking. And there is another fire called the southern fire. In the vertebral column, the upper end is called north and the lower end is called south, because they have a strange correspondence with the North Pole and South Pole of our Earth. And here, southern fire means the fire that is placed in our genitals by nature. That is what is called the fire of reproduction. What we call we are expected to keep the purity of the third fire by practicing perfect celibacy up to 21 years, and then selecting a proper mate and getting married, and observing monogamy and purity of, so that we may provide pure bodies for the souls who want to come into this world. So these are called the 3 fires in the house, and we are expected to worship these 3 fires always. This is how the scriptures describe about buddhi. And then there is the 5th plane of our consciousness, which is called